Straight ahead on CCX News, more money for bike trails, how newly approved funding will help local suburbs. Plus, a neighborhood coffee shop that plans to double its daily dose of Java. And a hockey team and neighbors who sprung into action.
To have these guys here in her backyard is pretty cool for her.
How they lifted the spirits of a Brooklyn Park girl. CCX News starts right now. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. Hennepin County is awarding almost $1 million of grant money to select cities for bike and sidewalk projects.
Some of the cities that will benefit are right here in the Northwest Metro. We get more from Eric Nelson, who joins us. Eric?
Yeah, Alex and Mike, this is part of the county's goal to create safe and user-friendly transportation options for residents. Now, Brooklyn Park is one of the cities that won this trail lottery, and BP officials are excited. The city will receive 2 grants for 2 projects, totaling $124,000.
Both of these trail projects improve the east-west connections throughout the community. The Brooklyn Boulevard Trail project will create the critical connection between the planned light rail stop at Brooklyn Boulevard and West Broadway and the retail center and amenities that are there with the Village Creek neighborhood.
The Brooklyn Boulevard Trail grant will total $100K and replaces a 5-foot sidewalk on the south side of the street with a 10-foot multi-use trail. Meanwhile, $24,000 will be doled out to complete the 63rd Avenue project. These trails will be key links in the city and are part of Brooklyn Park's focus on becoming more bike and pedestrian friendly.
Brooklyn Park has identified trails as a priority, and we've heard from the community members that they want a strong trail system, and so we're working towards closing those critical pedestrian and bicycle gaps.
Now, the projects will be done in 2 phases. The total cost of phase 1 is $600,000. Besides the grant money, $225,000 comes from a Hennepin County transit-oriented development program, $103,000 from Brooklyn Park's Capital Improvement Fund, and the rest from the city's Economic Development Authority. Phase 2 has not yet been finalized. The city hopes to complete the projects in 2019 or 2020. Alex and Mike?
All right, Eric, thank you. A large apartment complex takes a step forward in New Hope.
The city closed on the sale of property to a developer at 8400 Bass Lake Road. That's where a 182-unit luxury apartment complex will be built next to the golf course. Work begins with excavation and grading at the site. In about July, the contractor is scheduled to begin installing about 600 pilings to support the building's foundation. Meetings have been held with nearby residents about construction issues. The city bought the property in 2008, but wasn't able to redevelop it during the economic downturn.
The city of Plymouth will take another look at a possible lodging tax to help promote the city. A special council meeting will take place this week to discuss a tax on hotels of up to 3%, with 95% of the proceeds to be used to fund a local convention or tourism bureau. Currently, 26 cities in the Twin Cities metro area have implemented a 3% lodging tax, including Golden Valley.
A Robbinsdale woman is working to improve schools in one of the poorest nations in the Western Hemisphere. Jamie Belden has created a nonprofit organization to help teachers in Nicaragua learn how to teach kids with limited resources.
We work with little kids who don't have a lot of experience with books because they're hard pages, so they're really durable, and then they have fun things for them to touch.
Belden is the director of educational programs for the Future Roots Project. They're taking school supplies to Nicaragua later this year, but she says the real value comes in training teachers how to create a better learning environment.
We work with the teachers directly because we know that any sustainable change that's going to come has to come from the Nicaraguan teachers, but we also get to go into their classrooms and help implement these new ideas.
The teachers use songs, movement, and nature to educate the kids. And if you would like to help, a fundraiser is being held at Wicked Ward Brewing Company in Robbinsdale on August 17th. Well, here's a story about a neighborhood seeing a need and friends doing something about it.
The hailstorm that hit Brooklyn Park last month not only did millions of dollars in damage to homes, it also blew away a brand new gift for a young girl with Down syndrome.
And it blew the trampoline up and over the hill and into our neighbor's tree. And Allie was pretty sad about that.
Well, today, Allie is sharing a brand new trampoline with her friends. These are guys from the Champlain Park hockey team and from around the neighborhood who knew what that trampoline meant to her. Allie had just gotten it for her 16th birthday when the storm came through and wrecked it.
She's always supported our hockey team and stuff, so we thought of her as like a little sister almost, so we wanted to help her out because we know that she liked it like a lot. So and we know she was sad after it got ruined. So if we got our new one, it would like make it like a really good situation for her, and she'd be really happy about it for a long time.
I'm too happy. I said yeah. So I'm too happy. Yeah.
Through a GoFundMe page, they managed to raise about $450 to replace the broken trampoline with a new one. And then they came over to put it together on a Sunday afternoon recently, putting a smile back on Allie's face. Way to go, guys. Still ahead on CCX News, a daily dose that will soon double for coffee lovers.
Plus, teams from the Northwest Metro shoot for championships at the USA Cup soccer tournament. That's coming up next, or later rather, in sports.
But first, turning more humid, temperatures expected to climb back into the 90s on Tuesday.
Off-road enthusiasts are excited to tear it up and make their way to Brooklyn Park.
The very first four-wheel parts in Minnesota is now open, located off Boone and I-94. Four-wheel parts took over a former discount tire store. The company, owned by Polaris, now occupies more than 12,000 square feet of space, which is slightly larger than its other stores around the country, complete with an interactive showroom, a shop, and a warehouse. While they don't sell Jeeps or trucks, they sure do trick them out, offering every accessory imaginable, from rigid lights to a grumper bumper.
They should do really well here, you know, because there's a lot of people that like off-road things and stuff like that, and they do modifications on trucks and Jeeps and that kind of thing. So it looks really nice.
One thing that'll help four-wheel parts is its connection to dealerships, so you can buy a vehicle, then add accessories at a four-wheel parts store that's financed into the deal. According to the Brooklyn Park store manager, the average customer's special order from dealerships range from $5,000 to $8,000 per vehicle. A popular Maple Grove coffee house announced this summer that it's expanding.
A Daily Dose opened its doors in 2012, and it quickly worked its way into the hearts of many locals. In this week's Business Matters, a look at what's made the shop popular and why its next move is to Brooklyn Park. When you walk into Maple Grove's Daily Dose Cafe, there are a couple of givens.
Coffee's great.
The coffee and the conversation flow freely.
We're known as kind of being the neighborhood coffee shop.
Ask around and you get the feeling the crowd has been here a time or two.
You get a homey feeling, and they have good food. The food is fantastic.
This is typically where I start my day. I don't have to be here, but I come because I like being here.
David Hoden wandered in when this shop first opened in December of 2012. He's been coming back ever since.
You know, these people, you get to know them. It's kind of like our Cheers place. And there's a number of other people that you end up meeting that I met here because they started coming in here.
And he's not the only one to describe it that way.
There are a few that we if we haven't seen for a while, we'll ask, where are they? Where have they been? I feel like it's Cheers all over again.
Co-owner Ben Haven lives in the neighborhood, and it's important to him to have that kind of reputation.
Coffee shops and cafes are local kind of entities, and so we can, grow our base there.
With a healthy dose of menu items from fresh baked goods to signature sandwiches and paninis, salads and soups, this Maple Grove spot is more than just a cup of joe. Although when it came time for news of a business expansion, it was delivered in a coffee cup.
We've kind of been eyeing up Brooklyn Park for a while now, and now it's just the right opportunity, the right time, the right space.
This fall, a Daily Dose will open a second location in northern Brooklyn Park at 610 and Noble. It's a chance for this small business to bring its cozy feel and neighborhood vibe to a new group of regulars.
I mean, this is the fun place to come.
The new Brooklyn Park location is expected to open October 1st. Daily Dose is currently hiring staff for the new shop. Still ahead, turning a backyard into a magical place for theater. We'll take you to the Bunts home in Dayton.
But first, local teams battle in the sub-state playoffs in American Legion Baseball. John Jacobson is in next.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. Spots in the state Division I American Legion Baseball tournament were up for grabs over the weekend. Several local teams were still alive into the later rounds of their tournaments. In sub-state 11 play, Maple Grove facing Excelsior 2 made up of Minnetonka players. Excelsior's Mitch Class with a 2-out hit in the first inning, scoring Garrett Corwin, and they draw first blood. Top of the second, Andy Anderson bloops a hit into shallow outfield. The plate, Ben Stoller, and Excelsior is up 2-1. Maple Grove gets going. Bottom of the second, Jensen Erickson, a hit through the hole. Caleb Gates comes around to score. Maple Grove is up 4-2. They get 2 more in the third for a 6-2 lead. Starting pitcher Hayden Thompson seems to get better as the game goes on. The strikeout here ends the Excelsior fourth. Bottom of the fifth, Gates with a nice piece of hitting, slicing it just inside the foul line there. It scores Curtis Haugen for a run, and it's 7-2 Maple Grove. Top of the sixth, another K by Thompson retires the side. He shuts out Minnetonka from the third through the eighth. Minnetonka wins it 11-3. There are some high-scoring games later in the tournament with pitching staffs depleted. Maple Grove falls 17-12 to Elk River, eliminating Grove. St. Michael Albertville bounced back from a loss to Anoka to beat them 8-1 in the championship game. St. Michael advances on to this week's state tournament. In the sub-state 4 tourney, 2 local teams made up in the semifinal round. Wayzata set for action against Hopkins. Now Wayzata strikes early. Chad Musser drives it to deep right, just past the glove of the diving right fielder. Cam Keenan and Jack Rothstein score. Musser later comes in on a single, and it's 3-0 Wayzata after 1. A little self-preservation here. Look at that play. Wayzata pitcher Sam Westermeyer snaring the smash off the bat of Wyatt Nelson. Hopkins does get on the board in the fourth. Kyle Chiraboga going opposite field, scoring Matt Shaw, and it's a 3-1 game. After Hopkins pulls within 3-2, Westermeyer's liner just past short. Rothstein scores. It's 4-2 in the bottom of the fifth. Wayzata adds 1 more to lead 5-2. And they break it open in the sixth inning. Musser's bouncer finds the hole between first and second. Keenan scores to make it 7-2. Tyler Young flips a base hit into short left center field as the rally continues. It scores Rothstein to make it 8-2. The 8-run rally is capped off by Keenan's bases-loaded drive over the center fielder's head. His triple clears the bases, and Wayzata rolls to a 13-2 win over Hopkins. The news not as good, though, for Wayzata in the championship game as Excelsior takes it 9-1 to advance to the state tournament. It starts Thursday at CHS Field in St. Paul. In Sub-State 9, Champlin reached the semifinals before bowing out at a loss to Coon Rapids. Coon Rapids then lost to Ham Lake, made up of Blaine High School players in the Sub-State final. After a week of soccer and off-the-field fun, it was time to crown champions at the huge Schwann's Cup USA Cup soccer tournament. A number of teams from our northwest suburbs made it to the finals in their brackets. That includes a lot of girls teams from the area. They played their way into championship games. Highlights from this one. This is the boys' final here as Maple Grove lost to St. Paul Blackhawks by a score of 7-1. It was a good game early on as Maple Grove got a goal from Miguel M. Campo, but it was the team from St. Paul winning by a final score of 7-1. Now to the girls' highlights. U15 Girls Silver Division Championship. Fusion Soccer Club of Plymouth facing Edina Soccer Club. No goals in regulation and overtime, so we went to penalty kicks. Caroline McCullough, the keeper there, making a big stop. And then Karen Tryon scores a decisive goal for Fusion. They are the Silver Division champions, winning this one in a shootout. Another championship game involving teams from the Northwest Metro. The Maple Brook Surge fell 4-0 to Minnesota Thunder Academy in the girls U17 Gold Final. Fusion SC Duenas of Plymouth fell to a strong team from Haiti in the girls U16 Gold Championship matchup. Maple Grove had a team in the girls U15 final. The Rampage fell to Minneapolis United by a 2-0 score. And then Fusion SC Morris, coached by Maple Grove high school boys co-coach Chad Morris, won the girls U12 gold title, beating Pickering, Ontario 2-0. Fusion Soccer Club had a team in the boys U12 gold final as well. They lost a close 2-1 game to a team from Brazil. And the Rebels from Champlin advanced to the girls U9 open final, falling 2-0 to a team from Hoffman Estates, Illinois. That's a look at sports. Mike and Alex, back to you.
All right, John, thanks a lot. Up next, Peter Pan in a backyard near you.
How you can experience the magic when we come back.
Well, finally, what a perfect night to head outdoors and possibly experience theater like you haven't experienced it before.
Tonight we head to a backyard where we found out something you may not know about Peter Pan. Here's Neil Persley.
Well, this is our 10th year of being Bunt's Backyard.
When I set out for the Bogle House in Dayton to watch the Bunt's Backyard Productions presentation of Peter Pan,
We have been doing this since 2007.
I wasn't sure what to expect.
We started it just for fun,
But what I found
and it has become a way of giving back to our community. And so that's why it's free.
was truly high-quality community theater, I dare say, at its most organic level. From a live orchestra to the quality sound system to the enchanting atmosphere of the Bogle family backyard to excellent acting, this Bunt's Backyard production of Peter Pan is entirely enjoyable.
I definitely think that this is one of the most intense shows that we've ever tried to pull off, especially from a technical standpoint.
I like ziplining down.
Brooklyn Center resident Lily Mills plays an animated Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell is kind of fun because she's really sassy. And it's also kind of cool to like explore not speaking, you know, so like my reactions have to be really facial and love body language and stuff.
And I'll bet you didn't know that
Peter Pan
is from Brooklyn Center too.
My grandma and I always watched the Mary Martin version on VHS when I was younger. And we both just had this immediate connection with Peter's character because he's a very confident person and he doesn't care what anyone else thinks of him.
If you go, bring your lawn chair or a blanket, some bug spray, and get set for a great time. It's Neil Persley, CCX News.
And Peter Pan is on stage tonight through Wednesday night starting at 7 p.m. Check buntsbackyard.com for directions to the Bogle home in Dayton. What a fun night out.
That's really amazing, isn't it? Wow.
That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
We'll see you back here again Tuesday starting at 4.